Something to prove? Spit it. We can have a spray off. I lay off whack ninjas and kill them on my day off. Nothing for me to bust a tray off. I murdered a whole month of April ninja. Just to take May off. Run with more Germans than 8. I run with more Germans than 8. Upon watching the video, family, please don't mind the bell is in the back. And we provided documents for our facts. Please continue watching all through the video to the very end until you see Elon Musk, aka Phony Starks. But we provide sound documents and receipts for the things which we say. Please make sure you like. Please make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe to the content and the information that is there. Run with more Germans than 8. The whole party stopped. The whole party's eyes began to focus on this gentleman and his wife, or his girlfriend, as they were talking about this man in a drunken fashion, loudly. I heard his name myself. The party stopped. And it proves my point that you don't want to be in the G in Germany, mentioning this man's name without good cause, without justification. We're making mention of his name now. We're making mention of his name now because it's an educational teaching, a public service announcement. And what we are announcing is this: the Third Reich, yeah fam, so teaching that Third Reich under Adolf Hitler did many monumental things for the country of Germany. Had many papers. You gonna hold it for me? You can? Oh my man, I appreciate that. Thanks, man. Thank you so much, bro. Cool. I won't be long. I thank you so much, my friend. Cool. Appreciate you. So this is the thing. The Third Reich under Adolf's administration did monumental things for Germany, despite the history, as it has been presented in the Western world region. Okay, so we have to understand Adolf's Third Reich administration. They ended unemployment in Germany. They brought the economy of Germany from the basement bottom to #1 within 4 years. Okay? Adolf vowed to do that. We are not caping, we are not capping, but we are giving educational information pertaining to that regime and to the Third Reich. Okay? You're not going to be able to gloss over them. Also, when we make mention, the German unification came in 1871. 1871. It's about 170 years. When you look at the Third Reich from 1933 to 1943, that's a 10-year time period. It's very unjust, very unfair to equate all of German history with the Third Reich, although they've done many wonderful things for the country, believe it or not. And this brings us to our next point and our last point pertaining to the Third Reich. When we understand that the economy was at the basement and it moved to #1, we have to understand that the very taxers, the bankers, the geopolitical financiers that was talked about Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, a bunch of political leaders throughout the world and time history, they all spoken on these geopolitical bankers. And we find it non-coincidental that at the same time where the German country becomes from the basement economy to the #1 economy, that they begin at the brink of war, that a war began to break out. And we theorize, we begin to put our third eye on that. We theorize that it was very simple. The international financiers saw the prosperity produced by the Third Reich. They knocked on the German door. They wanted taxation. They wanted to tax the country of Germany. Hitler was not down with that. And that's how we theorized World War II began. My last point is this, regarding the Third Reich. Jesse Owens was a track star. Many of the German people, they believed that Adolf did not want to shake the hand of Jesse Owens. This was a misconception. Jesse Owens was not shunned by Hitler. The German people at that time, they thought that Hitler shunned Jesse. So when the Third Reich's regime was completed, they invited Jesse back to Munich 200, 300,000 Germans all celebrated Jesse Owens. That it was an honest mistake, but it was their pushback against the Third Reich and Adolf's regime in favor of Jesse Owens. But let's be clear, it has been well documented. Adolf did not shun Jesse Owens. The German people thought they did. They tried to recompensate, retribute that by having a celebration for Jesse. But I think that sums it up. We're talking about the Third Reich ending unemployment. We're talking about the Third Reich doing it through the means of putting the German people to work. I forgot to mention that. How did Adolf bring the economy to number one without the bankers' loans? He did it through the means of employing the German people. He put the German people to work. They built up the infrastructure during that time. You still bear witness to it to this very day. The quality of living here, the number one social scene, the number one life scene, night scene, a lot of that's contributed, believe it or not, to the Third Reich. That's our teaching on the day, and that's the juice. Yo, you are so helpful, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, bro.
All out to convince people to vote for AfD.
Yes.
Leistet Widerstand gegen den Faschismus hier im Land. Haltet fest zusammen, haltet fest zusammen.